Ugh. Just getting a bit of orange juice. Oh, it's so like sour, tart. Kind of took me off guard. What's up, everyone? This is Epo Dempsey Roll, aka Rey O, and it's Yakuza Like a Dragon time. Every time is good. Any time is good for Yakuza Like a Dragon time, aka Yakuza 7. And boy, oh, first of all, it's episode 31. Let's double check. Yeah, episode 31, and we have a bit of news to discuss. Actually, let's actually take care of that right off the bat, and then I'll spin that off into a separate video at a later date. But last night, after I had an offline session of playing Yakuza 7. And Yakuza, the whole RGG Yakuza cinematic universe, so to speak, has been a thing for my circle of friends and streamer pals for a little while now. Night Trap is streaming Yakuza 0, and Bacon Beer Can is streaming Judgment, and of course here I am with Yakuza 7. So, and you know, we have other friends as well, like Goro, who very much enjoys the Yakuza franchise as well. So, you know, it's a series that all of my friends, we all enjoy quite a bit. And I received some news recently, last night, and it's a bit spicy. It's a spicy bit of news. I'm not entirely sure how we're all supposed to take it. Let's get over to Serena. Here we are. What better place discuss the franchise than back at to one of the places where it's been such an important fixture for the games for so long. Hold on, is there anything out here in this hallway? No. Okay. Back here at Serena. New Serena. I don't see the mama here. Anyways. Let's just get right into the news. Let's see. I'll read the headline. It comes from Bloomberg, the business blog that has, you know, in recent months to recent years, they've kind of gotten into reporting on game news. And here's the headline. Bloomberg: China's NetEase is in final negotiations to poach Yakuza franchise creator Toshihiro Naghoshi from Sega. So, the creator of the Yakuza series, going all the way back to 2005 on the PS2, Toshihiro Naghoshi is potentially leaving Sega, a place that he's been working at for, gosh, I don't know how many years. He's been with Sega prior to Yakuza. He'd been working there for a very long time. And it sounds like a Chinese company, NetEase, is going to sweep him off his feet with a big tempting bunch of cash. A big bundle of cash. So let's read the rest of the article, if we can. Okay. NetEase is in final negotiations to poach Yakuza creator Toshihiro Naghoshi from Sega. I read that part. The hire from Sega Sammy Holdings, which is, you know, the official Sega name, but we always just call it Sega, would mark the biggest coup in contest between NetEase and close rival Tencent Holdings Limited to scoop up video game talent and assets in Japan. made more urgent by slowing growth and regulatory pressure at home in China. Naghoshi, who developed and helms one of Sega's most successful action series, which is the Yakuza series, is expected to set up his own team and create new games. People familiar with the matter have said. He hasn't signed a final contract, and his duties have yet to be finalized, they said, asking not to be identified, discussing this private deal. It's a little awkward that these guys keep groaning and moaning while I'm reading this. So how about we bring up just a picture on the smartphone, and then we can continue discussing things. There we go. Tencent and NetEase are on a multi-year quest to fill out their content libraries with more of Japan's highly prized animation, comics, and games titles, betting on their potential to become global blockbuster hits. In a country that's typically taken a skeptical view to outside investment, their ventures are now finding a more receptive audience in the wake of the pandemic's impact on funding and Sony Group Corp cutbacks on support for smaller studios. Tencent, the world's largest game publisher, regards Japanese content as a potential anchor for its increasingly critical effort to build a Disney-style global media juggernaut that also spawns video, music, and books. It's on the brink of adding another studio to its string of acquisitions in recent years, according to People. So that's Tencent. That last bit there was regarding Tencent. But it's a different company, NetEase, who is looking to hire Naghoshi. So let's kind of break this down and discuss a little bit about what this means. Now, my initial reaction is like, oh boy, R.I.P. to the Ryuga Gotoku studio. Is this the end of Yakuza? That's kind of like my initial gut reaction, right? Because of course Naghoshi is sort of at the forefront of this franchise. What's up? Hold on a second. Naghoshi is at the front of this franchise, right? So it seems like for him to leave, it just seems like a really big deal, and it's going to impact the series and the franchise. But I don't think that's necessarily true. Once I had a moment to calm down from that. 1 second. Also, let me turn off text to speech. There we go. Again, that's sort of like my initial gut reaction, but I don't think that once you have a little bit more time to kind of think about it, I think that it's not as bad as it initially seems. So let's kind of get into that. And for anyone in the chat, I will take a look at the comments after I'm kind of done with my little rant here. So, yes, he is sort of the head of that studio, and that studio is one of Sega's most prominent studios. Like, they produce, a game franchise that's, consistently getting great reviews and really great sales. So, it's kind of like he's at the head of it, but of course, one man doesn't make a game, right? It's something that is made by many people, writers and artists and developers, programmers, so directors even, because Naghoshi doesn't direct these games. He's like sort of like the the higher level producer of them, right? Executive producer, something along those lines. So I think it's in good hands. Like he's sort of been working with these guys with this crew for many years. Again, ever since 2006, really. They all have like their own ideas about making games. So I think in that sense, for the foreseeable future, I think that Yakuza games are going to be okay. We're not going to like necessarily feel a huge like impact in terms of like losing Naghoshi for the Yakuza and Judgment franchises. I don't think we're going to really get a good sense of that until like maybe like 2 to 3 games in, because one imagines that like the work for the next Yakuza 8 and Judgment 3 was probably somewhat in the planning, right? With Judgment coming out very soon, Lost Judgment, that is. So uh, maybe the best way to put it is that they're kind of like a well-oiled machine at this point. So yes, we're losing Naghoshi, but I feel like the people that are still there, they really know how to make these games at this point. Again, they've been doing it for a very long time. We're up to Yakuza 8, right? Plus the spin-offs and Lost Judgment. So at least in the short term, I think we're going to be okay. So the other thing I think is worth looking at is sort of the other side of it. And now that Naghoshi is, well, potentially, again, the as far as I know, the contract hasn't been signed. That's what the article says. So Naghoshi is going over to NetEase, a Chinese company, and my understanding is that Tencent and possibly NetEase, they are sort of like creating studios in Japan now to create these games and getting Japanese talent to make these games. My feeling is that the thing that appealed to these developers, these like big companies, of getting Naghoshi, wasn't that, oh, okay, now you're gonna make Triad, right? You're gonna make like Yakuza games, except it's Triad now, or you're gonna make. I highly doubt that, and also I'd be reluctant to say that he'd even be making a game anywhere similar to a Yakuza type game, right? Like just like call it Gangsters or something, Gangsters of Japan, Gangs of Asia. I'd be reluctant to make a claim like that's the reason why they hired him. That seems like a very kind of like surface level interpretation of this hire here. I suspect that the NetEase wanted Naghoshi because he's just really productive and he's just really efficient. Productivity and efficiency. So what do I mean by that? As we stare at this really funny picture, is there another picture we can look at? So again, look back to how many games he's made from the Yakuza franchise, right? We're on the 8th one, and they come out every couple years at this point, right? Like a fairly regular pace. Then there's Judgment, and then there was 2 PSP spin-offs. Then there was 2 Ancient Japan spin-offs, and then there was the Fist of the North Star Yakuza type game, and then Dead Souls. And let's not forget Binary Domain, which is a highly underrated game. So that's a bunch of games that this studio in effect has made under Naghoshi, right? And that just really speaks to his like kind of productivity. And when I say his productivity, I mean his ability to guide a studio into being very productive, right? When you compare that output in the same time frame compared to someone like I don't know, uh, Fumito Ueda, right? Like the critical darling who made Last Guardian and Eco games. Like, I mean, Eco, Shadow of the Colossus, and The Last Guardian. Those are three games, and like in pretty much the same time frame, Naghoshi has released what, like 12, 15 games, something ridiculous like that, right? So that's what I mean in terms of productivity. Hiring this guy to be the head of your studio, you know that you're going to get games, and you're going to get games at a fairly frequent rate. You know, we're probably, if and when this whole thing goes through, maybe within a year and a half, 2 years at max, you're going to see a game from this guy. And then you're probably going to see another game the next year, and on and on. And tied to that is this idea of being very efficient, right? How is it that how is it that the RGG studio is able to release so many games at such a rapid pace, you know, a fairly regular rate? Well, it's because he's super efficient. Take a look at this picture. This is Osaka, right? And Sotenbori, Osaka, is a location that has appeared in multiple Yakuza games. And of course, the same can be said about Kamurocho, right, in Tokyo. That location has appeared in practically every single Yakuza game since the very first. They're very good at reusing assets, in other words, right? Many of the bad guys that you fight, again, they're like, you know, the same models that you've battled before. Even when it comes down to the signage, as you see here, or the garbage cans in the game, or stuff like that, the cars, all of that is like reused assets. And that's not to say that that's a very, you know, like cheap way of making games. It's not. Every studio does that, right? Even like Call of Duty, right? They have the same gun models. They use the same stages. They use the same sound effects, animations. That's all part of making video games, right? And Naghoshi is just, and the Yakuza games are just really good at making use of these assets, right? And putting them into a different context. And it's kind of become this thing where it's not seen as being like a cheap way of making games. Instead, it's kind of like this, it just becomes this really real and authentic place for gamers to constantly come back to, this realistic location, right? That, you know, if I say go to the Sega arcade in Kamurocho, in Theater Square, you automatically know what I'm talking about. Millennium Tower, the batting cage, right? Everyone who's stuck with the franchise for this long, they kind of know what they're talking about, what I'm talking about. So yeah, that's the other thing that I think NetEase was looking to get with this hire of Naghoshi, is someone who's going to be very efficient, right? Maybe spend a good long while to release a game, taking 2 years or whatever, or 3 at most. But then those assets are going to be reused time and time again for future games. That's sort of my big picture guess as to why that they wanted to grab Naghoshi. It's not because, again, it's not because they want to make Yakuza games too. It's possible, right? It's possible that NetEase is looking to get this guy, and hey, let's just make more Yakuza games. We'll just call it something different. Maybe it'll be about something else, like the Chinese mafia, the Triad or something. I kind of doubt that, but it's possible that they might just want him to do essentially the same thing with a different company. But I think in the in the greater scheme of things, it's this idea of his productivity, his ability to lead a studio in terms of productivity and efficiency in making these games. That, I think, is like the big attractive point in hiring Naghoshi. I'm noticing here that I can't actually see my chat. Sorry if for people making comments. Oh, I see. Bacon, I highly doubt they'll be allowed to make a game about the triads and the Chinese mafia. Basically, anything that sheds light on the dark side of the country is probably a taboo. Yes, you're exactly right. That's why I was saying, like, it's unlikely that they would do that. But so I think the other thing I want to mention here, it's actually really interesting. There was a quote from almost 10 years ago. Game Developer Magazine asked Naghoshi in an interview. Let's see. Okay, we've seen a big shakeup lately with high-powered Japanese creators leaving companies. This was 10 years ago. Most significantly, Inafune from Capcom. You're still at Sega, and it seems like you're satisfied there. So here's Nagoshi's response. Well, I don't know if I'd call myself all that high-powered, and then he laughs. It's hard to say whether the trend is a good thing and for everyone's best interests, but a creator needs to be someplace where he can shine the brightest, and that's not necessarily always going to be happening by going it alone. It's not that I'm satisfied at Sega so much as I really owe one to Sega. They taught me how much fun making games can be. I doubt I would leave this company in 10 or even 20 years. Now, listen to this part. Unless something really drastic happens, I'm not going to leave on my own volition. So, unless something drastic happens, and I think that something drastic just happened, which is to say, a big pile of money was presented, thrown on his lap, and he was like, all right, let's do this. It's time for bigger and better and greener pastures. And the other thing is, he said that it's not that he's like satisfied with working at Sega. It's that he feels like he owes them one. And remember, this is 10 years ago, right? So we're kind of like, I don't know, let's say Yakuza 4 or 5 or something. He felt like he owed something to Sega. Well, given the increased popularity of the Yakuza franchise and all that Naghoshi has done for Sega, and I would say that he was a key part of making Sega cool again, right? Because of course, like, Sonic has his off days. I think it's to put it in the kindest terms. Sega, sometimes Sonic isn't really like the coolest character that they have in their catalog, and their other games, outside of, like, say, outside of the Persona stuff, right? Sometimes those games just don't really hit. But at least when it came to the Yakuza games, that was something where everyone was on board, right? It became this kind of like internet meme, almost, like, in a good way, where people would post on Twitter and how cool Kiryu was, and also, like, when we talk about, like, the Yakuza games, so much of it revolves around masculinity and what it means to be a man, right? But I think that while certainly Kiryu was, like, this knight in shining armor, he also would often show, like, kind of a very sensitive and understanding side, and I think the same can be said of many Yakuza characters, even including the guy that we're looking at here, Ichiban. So yeah, it was just it just kind of came at the right time, Yakuza, and it took a long time to build up and become the thing that it is today, and along with that, it kind of elevated Sega's profile, right? And so that's all to say that I feel like when Naghoshi says I owe it to Sega, the debt has been paid in full. You know, again, that was a quote that he said 10 years ago. So in the 10 years since then, and remember that Yakuza was already kind of like blowing up at the time, and then 10 years since, it's blown up even more, right? He's really improved the franchise and Sega. So the debt has been paid. I say you're free to go, dude. Make your money. Hopefully you can make a good game with NetEase. Who's to say? You know, hopefully they'll let you make the games that you want to make with complete freedom. This is a good shot. But that's kind of like a big question in the air, and I don't really want to end on a negative note, but of course, when a big Bacon was I spoke with Bacon about this, but basically, you know, when a big Chinese company gets to a point where they're that big, eventually there's going to be some kind of government, I don't want to say interference, but influence on how they carry about their business. So that's a concern when it comes to the kind of content and stories that Naghoshi could tell with NetEase. Who knows? We can't really say. It's a concern for sure, but that's something that we're not really going to be able to say with 100% certainty. Bacon says, time to look forward to the next AAA gacha game. I mean, maybe that would that would be unfortunate, but again, who knows? Because the article from Bloomberg was saying how NetEase and the other company, Tencent, they're looking to expand more than just like the typical stuff that we know them for. They want to become a company like Disney, which, is kind of a good and bad thing depending on how you interpret that. They want to be a huge media company that makes more than just the things that they're currently known for, right? And making a studio and making games, possibly making like more standard kind of like single player experience games, big budget AAA type games, that's all part of it. Who knows? But I think that's gonna do it for me right now in terms of like this little news segment about Naghoshi leaving. There's still a lot more to be said. Of course, the contract apparently hasn't been fully signed, so we don't really know. And just to recap, I'm gonna say that for the time being, RGG Studio and all the people, the talented people that Naghoshi has sort of brought up in all these years since the first Yakuza game up till now, they're ready to take over the reins, and they have their own ideas, and maybe we're going to see more interesting and different versions and views of Yakuza beyond what we've seen right now. That's also very interesting. And again, on the other side, NetEase is going to be looking to get out of Naghoshi someone who is productive and efficient with the time and money, okay? And yeah, that's generally about it. So thanks for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye. All right, so that was my little content farming for. That was my little content farming at the start of my stream, which took about half an hour, so not bad. Bacon. What if he doesn't end up leaving? How will Sega treat him afterwards? I feel like he has to leave after this news. Okay, well, let's take a look at that. So, if he doesn't end up leaving, why? The reason why is because Sega would have to counteroffer, right? They would have to present him with, you know, at this point, like a higher position than he currently is at Sega, which is to say, like, he's already fairly up high. Oh, we got into a fight. Oh my gosh, we're fighting a robot. Binary domain. These guys interrupted my TED Talk. Yeah, so he wouldn't leave unless... He wouldn't leave if Sega did a counteroffer and it was gonna be substantial. And as far as I know, as far as I can tell, well, we haven't heard anything like that. It could happen, but my sense is that Sega has kind of given him as much sort of ownership, leeway, leadership position as they're willing to give already, because they gave him like a really big raise not too long ago. There's actually a very interesting video about this whole situation with Kojima and Konami in terms of like Kojima sort of really climbing up the ranks within Konami, up to a point where he was like, you know, one of the really upper echelon leaders of the company, but then his position kind of dropped once it became clear that Konami's direction wasn't going to be in AAA gaming, single-player games or whatever, but instead, you know, mobile games and blah blah blah. You know the story. So it's not the same situation with Naghoshi. I don't think so, at least. Sega seemed pretty happy with what he was doing. That's my impression. So okay, let's grab a burger here. So they would have to offer him something really big and really juicy, and I just have my doubts as to whether they could actually do that, because it seems like they've given him quite a lot already. I would say that, like, there's a lot of people that were shocked by the news. I was pretty shocked, to be honest, like, you know, but maybe he also felt like it was a good time if he was ever going to leave and sort of like advance his own career. Now would have been the best time, right? He wrapped up the story that he wanted to tell with Kiryu, with 6, and he kind of left the franchise with a good direction, right? He left the franchise with the direction of Judgment and Yakuza 7 with the RPG and the new character in Ichiban. So I think if he was ever going to leave, it would have been as good a time as any, right? So here I am in the the Kamurocho underground, and we're just gonna try and grind a bit. I would like to get Ichiban up to about level 65 to 70 before we do the final push for the end game. So today is really just going to be a lot of grinding and stuff like that. Side content. There actually isn't much side content to do, so that's what we'll be doing primarily today. Let's see. What I would say though, in terms of like, you know, who are they going to get to replace Naghoshi, right? I would say that whoever they get, and it could be it could be multiple people, it might not just be one person, I would hope that that person has their own vision. You know what I'm saying? Not necessarily a watered down version of Naghoshi, right? Someone where you're just going to be constantly thinking, oh, you know, this seems like so different than what Naghoshi would have done. Like, you know, that kind of thing has happened with Star Wars, right? You know, people are constantly saying like, oh, is that what George Lucas would have done? Blah blah blah. I think I would like someone that just has their own vision, you know? And maybe it's a great vision, maybe it's a bad vision, but I just want someone with their own kind of like, well, what is this? Oh, paparazzi. Oh no, my defense fell. Someone who can really just guide the company, RGG Studios, and take it in interesting directions. You know, maybe not just follow a preset pattern, you know, and just do something interesting. We've already seen, you know, a fairly adventurous choice in making Yakuza 7 an RPG, so, you know, how about more interesting choices, more things like that, where it's like, wow, they really went out on a limb to do something different. That would be cool. And again, I don't really have any specifics as to what I would like to see, but that's kind of like the general idea of it. Like, again, you know what? I keep on thinking back to the PSP game, and it's funny because the PSP game was not made by RGG Studios, or again, RGG Studios wasn't like a name until, like, I would say Yakuza 5 or 6. It was developed by oh gosh, I forget their name, but they made wrestling games, like good wrestling games. But yeah, that's kind of, I'd like to see more like that. Like, you know, in those games you played as like a young person, like a teenager, and the Yakuza games up until now, like, they've always revolved around adults, and I think that's a really good thing, by the way. But it could be interesting to have that perspective again of like, what's it like to be, you know, a low level, you know, Yakuza member who's just like, you know, a punk teen essentially, right? And then he's slowly getting more immersed into the more adult world of the Yakuza and getting into trouble, you know, on a bigger scale. Maybe it could be a game where, like, you're on this ride with this character ever since, like, the first game he's like a teenager, right? And then the second game he's like in his late teens or he's in his 20s, and then the third game he's like in his 30s. You know, that could be interesting. We actually do see that with Kiryu to an extent. Like, he gets older as the games go on, and Haruka gets older, up to the point where I believe in 5 he clearly has gray temples, although with his most recent appearance they kind of went back on that, and he went back to having like went back to having like straight up black hair. He was rejuvenated. His time off, he became rejuvenated. Bacon, honestly, I'll be very excited for this if it's not a gacha game. Yeah, that would be interesting. I don't want to say either way as to what they're gonna do, but again, the article makes sort of like this statement that they're looking to make more games and more things than just gacha. You know, they want to make manga, they want to make anime, they want to make you know, other kinds of video games. So I go back to that comment, and it seems to me, and you know what, you wouldn't really get Naghoshi if all you were looking to do was to make gacha games, right? I don't know, that's my theory at least. You wouldn't really need someone like that if all you were going to do was make gacha games, because they're good at that already, aren't they? Aren't they really like one of the best when it comes to making gacha games? So he's going to be making his own studio, and I think the big question is going to be like, how much autonomy is he going to have? How much, like, are they going to sort of let him kind of do his own thing, so to speak? Maybe it's going to be one of those deals where initially, yes, he'll have a lot of autonomy, a lot of freedom, but eventually, you know, they'll kind of like tighten up. But then at that point, maybe he'll leave. Maybe that's in his contract too. You never know, right? Like, one of those situations where, like, they kind of get him involved at the beginning just to sort of start up a company, have people learn from him, and then, like, it's in the contract, like, 2-3 years later, you know, he's able to go off and do something else. Just retire and hang out with all the models, the Jav models that he's made friends with along the way. There's Yoko Taro, who's kind of stuck making gacha games. Like, how involved is he with that gacha game? I don't know. Like, is he very much involved with that game? I really don't know. Create a hit new IP and then turn into a gacha game. Okay, Immaculate Pain. I do need those. Sweet. Mallet of Fortune. I feel like I have that item already. And again, I'm mostly just doing this to grind and get some levels, get some loot, so we can get stronger for the battles that are to come. He wrote the story for Sino Alice, but I'm not sure about Near Reincarnation. Oh wow, I forgot about Sino Alice, or Sino Alice. And yeah, Near Reincarnation. Oh yeah, so he's got two of those kind of games under his belt. I forgot. I was initially just thinking about Near Reincarnation. I don't know, I feel like when you say stuck, to me, I wonder if he views it that way. My sense is that he's probably pretty happy just doing that, because he just gets to write, right? Like, he just gets to write all the weird stories that he comes up with, and he doesn't have to bother, like, coordinating and overseeing, like, a big high production game and making sure that it's really, you know, like a polished experience. All he has to do is think about writing, and we know that he loves to do that, right? He loves writing. He wrote a frickin' stage play. He wrote like side novels and stuff. So yeah, he might just be happy to write for this silly little this guy. Silly little gacha games. So I really hate fighting these enemy types. I might just run away. Let's run away. These guys have a lot of HP, and they're just super annoying. It said no escape. Let me... crap. Okay, let's hit him with the orbital laser. Look at that. It barely did damage. Oh my god. Can't... Are you sure I can't run? Okay, good. Got the hell out of there. There's an interview with him, and he mentioned how he doesn't like making the same type of game. This is why all his games are different genres. Yeah, so yeah, maybe he got those 2 gacha games under his belt, and then now he'll move on to something else. I'd love to see him make a Final Fantasy Tactics kind of game. I feel like that genre is very suitable for telling elaborate stories, and he could kind of pull it off, I think. Yeah, these are all items that I need to find. I would really love to see what he's working on next, Yoko Taro. Although, you know, man, I think that that pairing with Platinum Games was so good, and it's possible that in a future game from Yoko Taro, the next Nier game or Drakengard game, it's possible that it might not be a partnership with Platinum. And if that's the case, I would be kind of disappointed. And yeah, Platinum in 2021 isn't necessarily the same as Platinum in those days of Nier Automata. But I still think that pairing could result in some really great results, and I'd like to see more. But yeah, it's possible that the next time we see a Nier game, it might not be a partnership with Platinum, and I think that would be kind of unfortunate. Let's see. I feel like Automata is a bit of lightning in a bottle scenario. Yeah, because didn't, like, the composer that they got on board was a really good one, like a legendary composer, and everything kind of just, the timing of it all worked out for everyone. Almost like Chrono Trigger, right? Like that whole Chrono Trigger situation, where we'll never see all those people kind of get together again. Man. Because when it came to re-releasing the first Nier game, they had another studio work on it. And it seemed to me like the directive was to kind of ape what Platinum did. Very similar situation to Chrono Trigger. Let me hold up. Let me get the text-to-speech back again. I basically just turned it off for my little content farming session. There we are.
Although the music composer has always worked with Yoko Taro.
Who's the composer again? Man, I feel like I should know this, but yeah, it's
Okabe Keiichi.
Ah, okay, cool. You know, the other component of that article, which, you know, it was a bit of a more broader in scope piece of information, was that, you know, these Chinese companies are looking to sort of get their foot into Japanese development, whether it be creating their own studio or buying up another. And that was the other thing, was Tencent is looking to buy a Japanese studio, and there's a lot of speculation right now as to who that studio might be. Because when you think of a company like From Software, they're actually already a part of a larger company. So it's unlikely that that's the company that they're referring to. Could it be Platinum? They aren't underneath any other studios. Sorry, a larger company. They're independent, so maybe it's them. Let's kill this guy. Yeah, the enemies in this dungeon, they're pretty tough, so... At the very least, they have quite a lot of HP.
Watch me. Take this.
Some people thought, oh, could it be Vanillaware? I'm not sure about that. Now, Vanillaware, my understanding is that they are not owned by anyone, but it seemingly have a very exclusive contract with Atlas, and of course Atlas is owned by Sega, so you know that might rule them out from candidacy. And then there's companies like Capcom and Namco Bandai. I don't know. They would have to shell out an enormous amount of cash if they were to buy someone like that. You know, that's a whole other...
I feel like these Chinese devs publishers should look at some of their own indie devs if they haven't already.
Yeah, I think that would be a sort of like the great sort of homegrown idea for them
They
to...
are making some really good games.
To focus, but to focus on their homegrown talent. I think that would be a great idea, but I think they're more interested at this juncture in a developer and studio that's established and someone that they can make money off of right now, rather than like, you know, fostering a good relationship and raising them up from nothing. Yeah, it seems to me like they're more interested in a studio that's fully fleshed out, so that they can start making money
They are too
immediately.
focused on short-term success.
Yeah, in the long term, it would be far better to work with their own internal Chinese companies, Chinese studios in China, and I think that there's a certain kind of temperament, a certain kind of cultural understanding that it's always going to be kind of in conflict if you have these like Japanese studios working for a Chinese studio, or for that matter an American studio working for a Chinese company, or even we've seen that, right? American or Canadian developers working for a Japanese company with Capcom Vancouver. I don't think they exist anymore, but they worked for quite a long time with Capcom, making the Dead Rising games, starting with 2, but eventually
We've kinda seen example of this with Microsoft exclusives versus Sony exclusives.
Oh, in terms of like purchasing a straight up like a company that's fully formed, right? And just banking on the success of that company to really the past successes of the company to get the results, right? Like how much was it? 4 billion? Was it 4 or 6 billion to buy Minecraft? Crazy. And of course, Microsoft purchased Bethesda, and Bethesda has so many studios underneath them, and so basically they just kind of hitch their ride with something that's already incredibly successful, right? Whereas like the Sony approach, it seems like, you know, they had built up a relationship with Insomniac for years, starting with the PlayStation 1, right? And the Spyro games. And it took all the way up to like now, basically, like what was it, in 2019 or 2020 when they finally announced that they were going to purchase the company. Like that's like one of those things where it was just this long relationship.
All the high-profile Sony devs started small.
And they kind of grew with Sony over time, right? And definitely that's totally the opposite of the Microsoft approach. Yeah, I feel like the problem with that, with the Microsoft approach, is that, you know, Like when they bought Rare so many years ago, you know, the understanding was, okay, you're gonna make Nintendo quality games for us, because they made all sorts of great Nintendo games on the N64. But it turned out that, like, it was, I don't know, they paid a lot of money, and if I felt like only fairly recently has that relationship with Rare really kind of played out. Oh crap, I targeted the wrong guy. I thought this attacked multiple people. To me, it's kind of like a very, you know, it seems to me like a very corporate kind of way of doing things, and of course, it is a giant corporation. You really shouldn't expect a giant corporation to act any other way other than a giant corporation, right? But yeah, like, you know, just buying up companies that are successful and then making more money off of them. That's pretty much all they do. Okay, look at this. We've got the slime here. Gotta try and take out this slime. Rapid shot. This is the reason why I've come down to this dungeon here. This is actually the Yokohama Underground. Sorry, the Tokyo Underground, rather than the Yokohama one. The Kamurocho Underground, I should say. There we go. Okay, we killed the slime. Let's try and take a look at how much HP that we get. I don't know what she's throwing there. It says something like roulette. I don't understand what that is. Whoa, he ran forward and then he back rolled. I've never seen that, that's funny. You know, there's this, I saw I should try and find it again, but I saw a funny picture a while back of how Naghoshi looked prior to, you know, his Yakuza identity. Once the Yakuza games came out, he really kind of took on the appearance of kind of like a underworld kind of person, for lack of a better term. You know, he went into the tanning booth. He started wearing, like, you know, flashy clothes and jewelry, leopard print dress shirts and leather pants, and bleached his hair. But prior to that, like when he was, because I'm pretty sure he made Super Monkey Ball. He was like one of the lead designers of Super Monkey Ball. Oh, everyone's leveled up. That's very good. He just looked like a regular ass programmer dude. just you know, just like your average video game programmer guy. It's really funny. I should find that picture again. You know, no bleached blonde hair, no outrageous outfits, none of that. But he had it in him all along. It was always hold on, how do we, wait, is this the exit? Oh, I think it is. Okay, well, we're trying to fight people, so let's, oh, we can't actually mark the map. it was always a part of his personality all along, deep inside of him, that Yakuza spirit, I guess. I wonder if he has like a crazy tattoo. Probably not, right? Let's see. What are we gonna do?
Try this. Check this out.
Okay. Penalty roulette. And I guess I might as well take this opportunity to do a bit of shilling. I have a YouTube channel, and you can get there by checking out the About page here on Twitch, and the same applies for anyone watching on YouTube. You can get to my Twitch by going to my About page on YouTube. And just recently on YouTube, I uploaded a new video talking about subs versus dubs. It's just something that I started to talk about while I was streaming here, streaming Yakuza 7. Just talking about the history of English subs and dubs, and the history of it in the Yakuza franchise. There's a bit of spoilers in it, of course, late game spoilers, regarding a character that appears. But yeah, it's just kind of interesting to talk and think about how that has evolved over the years. And oh, have I seen this guy? Look at this guy! Holy shit! Oh, that was a lot of damage. Ay ay ay. Okay. Wow. Rapid shot. I'm gonna shove for a second while I take care of this. Okay.
Bring it on.
Okay, there you go. Magical voice. You know, for a long time, you would be completely in the right to say that subtitles were superior to dubs. You know, for a good long while, it was, especially in the 80s and the 90s, it was kind of like an afterthought, and it just worked better, flowed better, if you just watched the subtitles. Just watch with subtitles. But you know, I would say starting with like Persona 3 and Persona 4, I feel like the efforts made in localization, in dubbing, have really kind of improved over the years, and we're seeing some really good dubs these days. And of course, that also applies to Yakuza. And I think a big component in improving it was the lip sync. Now you can get like the English language lip sync.
It's gotten much better over the years from what I've heard.
Yeah, I mean, like, if you can understand... Hold on, what am I gonna do here? If you can understand Japanese, then by all means, just watch, you know, just watch it in the original language, of course, right? But there's a kind of immediacy that you get when you just watch in a language you understand, that you won't get if you don't understand the language. I feel like it's kind of a weird thing to try and explain, because it makes perfect sense, but some people are just very much, still to this day, adamant about sticking with subs despite the fact that they don't understand the language. And you know, to me it's on a case-by-case basis. Oh, did I use orbital laser? I didn't mean to do that. Whoops. But yeah, it's definitely gotten better. And as I was saying, with Yakuza 7 and Judgment 2, I believe, they use a lip sync technology to really make it like a very seamless kind of experience. And the original voice actor for Kiryu, back in Yakuza 1, and to this day still the Kiryu voice actor, I think that's really cool. He was saying how, you know, back then with Yakuza 1, he had to change the way he would normally read lines so it would match the lips of what the people were saying. Right? And you see that all the time. You see that all the time with anime and video games with English dubs, that the way they speak, it's just not natural because of they have to make it match the Japanese movement of the lips. You know, even when it's, you know, a simple anime like mouth open, mouth closed animation, it'll look off if you have sounds coming out of the character's mouth when their mouth isn't open, right? But that's not a concern anymore with new technology like you're seeing here in Yakuza 7 with the English lip sync. So yeah, it's things like that that really make it a lot better. And of course the talent involved and the direction and the people that are localizing now are a whole lot more talented too. So yeah, and again, I'm not saying I'm like pro dubs. No, that's not the point. What I'm trying to get at is it's a lot better than people might think who are still kind of in that mindset that it sucks, like that it still sucks to this day. Let's just do this orbital laser. Like that, it's still the same as it was from the 80s and 90s. It's not. And it's a case-by-case basis, right?
Here we go. Ready now.
Let's go. Let's go.
But then there's like these situations where it's kind of like, we still have some ways to go. And I'm thinking about the karaoke in this game. So that introduces a whole other dimension to the challenge of making a good dub, right? Because it's one thing to
A gift for you.
do an English dub and read the lines, speak in a normal voice, blah blah blah. But it's a whole other thing to sing also, right? So now they've translated the lyrics to this song, right? And of course, music lyrics often can be very abstract, can be very symbolic. So now they have the added challenge of interpreting that, and then the voice actor has to sing it. And sometimes it just doesn't work. Like some of these English dubbed karaoke songs, you know, they're just not good. They're just kind of awkward, in my opinion. And the classic Baka Mitai, I think, is pretty good. Nanba does actually a pretty good job of singing it. But even then, like, you know, the lyrics, there's something about the lyrics where it just seems a little awkward in terms of how it flows with the music. And that's one of the better examples. Then there's like Aries song, which is this weird kind of evanescence. It kind of has like an evanescence thing going on with rap and rock, and it's kind of awkward. It just doesn't flow all that well, to put it kindly. Okay, who are we gonna attack? So, okay, let's get this guy.
I'm up. Let's go. Nature rises again.
Yeah, you can tell these guys are
Cowabunga.
pretty tough. Hey, Goro, how's it going? Cowabunga indeed. Oh, by the way, I actually saw recently.
Dungeon music is dope.
You like this? I don't know. I'm not sure if I really like this dungeon music. It's kind of droning.
Bring it on.
and it doesn't actually change from the dungeon to the combat. It's just the same. And if you pair that with the actual boring dungeon layout, it makes for kind of a boring experience. It's actually one of the low points of the game, in my opinion, these dungeons, because they're not particularly designed all that well or interestingly. I'm not saying that they should be Dark Souls, like really intricate designs and layouts, but yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure if I love this as much as you do. But I was gonna say, I saw on Twitter recently a new statue, a new Ninja Turtle statue, and it's really awesome. I actually retweeted it, so I don't know, Goro, if you've seen it, but I mean, you're far more in the know than I am, so you probably have seen it.
I don't have Twitter.
Okay, but you're still in the circles. You're still like kind of involved and in the know when it comes to Turtles happenings, are you not? It's a statue of Raphael, and I'm assuming that he's in an outfit from the comics, from some point in time in the comics. It's kind of like he has more weapons on him, and he has like a hood and everything, and behind him are the ghosts of the other three turtles, and they kind of like have their hands on his back, like kind of pushing him on. And I was like, dude, this statue gave me chills. Like I don't even really know what's happening in the story at that point in time. I'm assuming that they're dead, right? The other three turtles. And Raphael is going off on his own, but just like that image, it was like, it gave me chills. And just talking about it now, I'm like kind of like getting chills.
Raph's dressed in a new outfit.
Yeah, Raph has a
Maybe
new
last
outfit.
Ronin.
That could probably most likely be it. Yeah, the last Ronin. Was that a good story arc?
Damn, last Ronin spoiler. I haven't started it.
Oh no, you haven't started it. Oh no. Delete your memory. You need one of those
I didn't know it was Raph.
Yeah, you never know when you can get spoiled on something. Oh no.
Oh no, what have you done?
I would have assumed that you would have known about it just because you're on top of the turtle stuff. Well, since you're spoiled on it, you should take a look. You should take a look because it seems pretty neat. The statue, at least. It makes me want to understand what's happening in the story, at least.
Now I should just read it.
Yeah, definitely. No time like the present.
Right.
Penalty roulette. What does this say? Damage an enemy with a random self-defense weapon, even if you don't know what you'll pull out. Oh, that's what it is. I wasn't understanding. A can? Oh, and it can cause them to have status afflictions. I see. Let's give this guy a desperate thrill. Unfortunately, the new Turtle game that's coming out, the Brawler, it's been delayed till 2022. Early 2022? I'm not even sure. I'm looking forward to it. I mean, how could I not be? I love brawlers. I love the old Turtle Brawler game on Nintendo and Super Nintendo, and the arcade game. I suspect.
Goro, what's your take on the Naghoshi news?
Oh, yeah, did you hear, Goro, about
it
that?
Looks cool. I hope they add some craziness above and beyond.
I think they're going to, with regards to the Turtle game, I suspect that they're going to up their game.
I died here.
Uh-oh. Well, just to quickly summarize it, Naghoshi is potentially leaving Sega to work for a Chinese company to make games. That news dropped yesterday, and it comes from Bloomberg, the Japanese branch of Bloomberg. So I feel like it's a fairly reputable source. And as far as I can tell, the contract has not been signed, but yeah, these are like late stage negotiation talks, negotiations.
Oh man, that sucks.
Yeah, that was my initial reaction too, is that, that kind of sucks. But I think that the studio itself, I think that they're in good shape, to be honest. I feel like they kind of have been working underneath Naghoshi for long enough that they understand the shape of the franchise, so to speak, you know, and now they'll be able to kind of carry on his will in some respects, and maybe even go beyond it, and do some things differently in potentially also interesting ways. But it is an end of an era, and it seemed to me like Naghoshi was the kind of guy that was gonna stick with Sega forever. That's what it seemed like to me. So
yeah, he's not the only guy. It could be time for a fresh eyes.
yeah, I think when you look at it that way, it's kind of an easier pill to swallow when you think about it in those terms. Damn, what is this guy weak to? What the hell? Okay, let me change out.
I'm not backing down.
No. Let's try fire. Maybe he's weak to fire.
Right.
Oop.
Try this on the side. You deserve a little reward.
But I'm very curious as to what they're going to have him do at this new company over at NetEase. I'm very curious. Like, you know, are they gonna make him just make gacha mobile games? Are they gonna make him just do Yakuza by a different name? Like, I don't know. I feel like Naghoshi probably wouldn't have accepted this offer if it was simply, you know, do the same thing you've been doing just with us and you'll get more money. Crap, he's not weak to fire. I thought he might be. Oh. Well done.
This hurts.
Whoa.
Let's go. Come on. Going in. Cool.
What the hell? Did he get more
China
HP?
seems to be collectively expanding its game development. More things are coming out of there.
That's what the Bloomberg article was saying, that they're very much sort of focusing on expanding their game development.
You're gonna be in a world of hurt.
And they do reference that they want to become like a big company, bigger than, not just in terms of games, but like Tencent and NetEase. They want to be more like Disney, you know, where they're just known for making many things. Yeah, but Bacon brought up a good point that, you know, instead of looking outward, outside of their country for these things, that they should be, you know, kind of fostering and developing internally. You guys have probably seen, what's it called? Black Myth Wukong. That's the Journey to the West game starring like the Monkey King, and it kind of looks like a Souls game a bit. And it looks like fantastic, like the production values and everything.
Yeah, that game looks really good based on the trailer. Yeah, that game looks cool.
Yeah, it looks really good. Hopefully it turns out good. To me, that's kind of like at the forefront in terms of like AAA Chinese production values. It seems like really the one to look out for. but there's so many other ones. There's this other game that was, I think it first was shown on like the PS3 or something, or intended for the PS3 or PS4, but now it's going to be a PS5 game. And the main character looks like some guy from Final Fantasy 15. Noctis. It looks like Noctis, but it's not. And the action looks more like Devil May Cry. I'm forgetting the name now, but that one also looks very good. And it was initially being developed by one guy. However, I think he's basically expanded his team now, such that, you know, he's got like a small indie team working with him now to get this game done. And that's another game from China that is a standout.
Don't get cocky.
I'm not backing down.
The article from Bloomberg, again, that's like Japanese, the Japanese branch of Bloomberg, it actually does mention how these big companies are looking into buying these Japanese development studios as well as the individual developers, partially because of Sony's kind of how to say it, like their backtracking on Chinese developer support. If you recall, sort of like in the middle of the PlayStation 4 generation, Sony had a lot of involvement with these Japanese companies. They had something called like the China Hero Project, where they and I'm pretty sure those videos still are up on YouTube, where they had like you can imagine almost like a Nintendo Direct, where they showcased a number of Chinese developed games.
I remember.
Right, yeah. But in recent years, it seems like Sony has kind of like taken the foot off the gas, so to speak, on the whole China Hero Project thing, for whatever reason. And the article does mention how that the sort of absence of the Sony support has kind of...
One looked like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, where you fly around like an old wushu hero.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so, yeah, now it's kind of like a big question in the air as to what they're gonna do. Okay, I think with these guys, this fight is just far too annoying, so I'm going to attempt to run away. Let's see if this works.
Right. See you around.
Weak.
Yeah, they ran away, great. Nice. Let's do an auto heal. Let's take a look at these, and then what I'm going to do is go back to Yokohama.
Sweet.
These are all things that I can sell.
Should I open it? Got it.
Because there's one side quest thing. I think I only have 2 side quests left. And one of them is just too hard and annoying for me. Which is the kart racing. Goro, have you done the dragon kart racing in this game? Like, have you seen it to its end? I can't beat the final guy. So I've tried probably more than 20 times at this point. So I'm just gonna put that on the back burner for now, because I was getting really frustrated and annoyed. And
no, I did a few. It was okay. I don't think I beat him.
yeah, it's you know what? Yeah, I'm right at the end. I have to beat the final guy, and I don't think I would have minded doing it, but the actual controls of the kart racing are just bad. It's just straight up bad. You know, if the controls were more like Sega All-Star Racing or Mario Kart for that matter, like, I'd be like, damn, this is awesome. Let's do it. But it's been a huge grind.
Agree. Why couldn't it have been like Sonic Racing?
Well, I suspect that they didn't make it like Sonic Racing because that game is developed by a different company, an outside studio called Sanzuru, I think. Um, and this one obviously is made by, the RGG studio. So it wouldn't be a simple matter of like, just getting those guys to to put their game engine on in another game. Like, I mean, that kind of happens already with Yakuza in terms of like, you know,
They should pull on their power as Sega.
yeah, they could have done that, I guess, but I don't know. I guess just in terms of the timing of it all, making sure the game comes out in time, making sure that it's going to be bug free or whatever. I don't know. It seems like a lot of work to do. In a sense, I feel like they probably were a little too ambitious to get something like that running. Like I was watching Night Trap play Yakuza 0, and the racing in that game, which is the pocket racing, it's just like it's a smaller scale racing game, but it's fine, right? It's fine, and it works, and it's perfectly functional and fun. But when you start to make like a full-on racing game, you know, a kart racer, then you're starting to compare yourself to the big boys, right? And it's not enough to just say, oh, it's side content, it doesn't have to have like good gameplay, right? Like they should have possibly not even bothered.
The drone racing in Judgment seems decent too.
Oh yeah, the drone racing. Yeah, that actually looks really fun. Yeah, I guess they just missed the mark on that one.
I spent like one straight hours on the Circuit Pocket racing game, tweaking my cars. It was so
sweet.
insanely addictive.
Yeah, I wonder if Night Trap did the whole thing. He may have for Pocket Racing. You know, I was reading an article about the origins of the Yakuza franchise back in the day, and how Naghoshi's team was comprised of a bunch of different game developers all over Sega, right? Like some guy from Monkey Ball, and then another guy from Virtua Fighter, and then another guy from, you know, this and that, right? A whole bunch of different talents came together to make Yakuza. And I think that's kind of reflected in the variety of Yakuza games. Like even to this day, you know, they can kind of these games are always so jam-packed with so many different gameplay elements, mini games and stuff. I think that's pretty neat. I mean, even to the point of like changing the entire gameplay system here in 7, like, you know, and the game still released in a timely fashion. I feel like that really speaks to how good the developers are over at RGG Studios, over at Sega, that they were able to cook this baby up.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's why I sometimes can't put these games down for days. There is so much to do.
Yeah, and you know, to tell you the truth, in some Yakuza games, I like maybe like 4 or 5, I would do like some of the mini games, but I wouldn't do all of it. Like I would, you know, because there's just so much, and I'd be like, damn, I can't do this all.
Same.
Yeah. But with this game, I've done almost everything. Well, I didn't play the card games. Oh, listen to this.
I actually like it.
Gookbop. What's Gookbop? Tell me.
I know it's not the real thing, but it's good in its own way.
I would have to agree. Whoever made this really knows what they're doing.
Sounds
Something
racist, lol.
Isn't this the place that had problems with the Komiju?
Yeah, it was.
I'm aware we're responsible for that.
Yeah, they still have a broken window.
The owner and apologize.
She's right there.
Don't. We're past that.
Don't?
This dude is cool. I love the Korean guy.
That's so funny because every time I play the game, Me and Bacon shit on them.
If you really want to make amends, let's
You like
focus
the
on our
cool
issue.
dudes, eh,
That way,
Goro?
people here can live in
I
peace.
shit on this guy all the
LOL.
time. I'll get into it a little later, but
Kasuga-san,
I
you're
want to
right.
listen to this.
That was wise.
If anything, why not buy local whenever you go out? That's another way of giving back energy, right?
Buy local.
That's fine, but won't that take forever? What I should do is hop on a bicycle generator and go full power.
I'm not sure that's gonna be any faster.
Pew! Attack was slightly boosted. So, Jungi Han. What do I feel? How do I feel about Jungi Han? Well, you're right. He certainly is cool. But I think that's part of the problem. Because many Yakuza characters are cool. However, they also have an air of uncoolness to them. They have
Time to
some...
shit on him again, LOL.
yeah, Bacon. Some aspect of uncoolness, some comedic or flaw or whatever. But Jungi Han is just full on. I'm a cool guy, and to the point where it feels very forced. It feels like the developers went out of their way to make a guy with the explicit intent of being Mr. Cool Guy trademark. To the point where many characters, when they talk about him, say, Jungi Han is cool. Jungi Han is awesome. Jungi Han is hot. It seems very forced, right? So for that reason alone, that's kind of like a put-off for me, right? When you look at Adachi
Well,
here...
because they made the Koreans really super Korean, like the leader of the Geomuggle.
Okay, but in the context of like the rest of the party, it just seems like he's so separate and other from the rest of the guys, right? One of the key kind of identifying features of a Yakuza game is the fact that they can kind of let their hair down and sing some karaoke, right? And look like a big old goofball singing karaoke. Kiryu is not beyond looking like a dork singing karaoke. Majima, all of these guys, Nanba, Eri, Saeko. But when I got Jungi Han, I was very excited. Let's go over to the bar, Survive, and let's check out Jungi Han's karaoke song. Guess what? He doesn't have one. That's just super lame, in my opinion. It's like he's far too cool to sing karaoke, even though that's like a core identifying feature of the Yakuza franchise. And even Eri, who is a secret unlockable character, who by all means they probably would have been excused for not including a karaoke song for her, and her karaoke song is bad, by the way. She has a karaoke song, but not Jungi Han, because he's just far too cool for it. And the last thing I'll say about Jungi Han is that, okay, look at all these characters, right? What's Nanba's iconic weapon for
Really?
his...
Did not know.
Yeah, that's the first thing I did, was I need to see his... Once I got him on the team, I was like, I need to see his karaoke song, and he doesn't have one. Look at all these... Okay, so Nanba, what's his iconic weapon? It's a broom or a staff, right? Saeko, she uses a purse. Ichiban, he uses a bat. What does Jungi Han use? Oh, you know, he uses punches with brass knuckles. He has a karimbit, a Filipino weapon. He has a taser, and he has 2 guns. Like, they gave him all the weapons. Again, it just seems like they overly forced him to be far too cool, you know? Like, they could have given him 1 or 2 of those things, and it would have been like, alright, this makes sense. Now, I say all that, but I use Jungi Han quite regularly. Now, why is that? Because he's effective in combat. I'm just speaking in terms of his character. I'm just talking about his character and his personality and his character design. I'm not too crazy about it. I've said it multiple times, and you know, maybe I'll have to make a compilation video about all the things I have to say about Jungi Han. And then even when it comes to his guns, we all know that guns are something that should be treated with respect in terms of the Yakuza games, right? Like, when they're shown in cinemas, in cinematics, the violence that they cause is very matter-of-fact and brutal. But when Jungi Han uses guns, it's the Matrix, and it's all flashy and for no good reason. But you know what? I liked Jungi Han's story when it came to doing his character profile story, and the whole background regarding like his face and everything. I liked that stuff. But when it's just that when it came to like the rest of him, it didn't sit well with me. Yeah. I like a lot of the other characters more. Ooh, oh shit. Okay, here's a new thing, a new cutscene. I didn't know it was gonna start here.
Being in a tatami room. I don't know why, but something about it makes me feel right at home.
If you say so. Huh?
Uh-oh, she found an item.
Hey, Ichan.
Yeah?
What's his hair doing here?
Whose earring is this?
Oh, earring.
What earring?
This earring that doesn't belong to me, which
Oh.
means somebody else slept here. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Uh-oh, cracking the whip.
So, who was it?
Where the hell did this come from? I've never seen it in my life. But if I just deny it, she might think I'm lying.
Uh-oh. Bling. Or...
She kicked my ass.
Well, you let another woman up here, then the both of you fooled around and that's how it fell off?
Oh god.
Shit. How do I get myself out?
It's Saeko's gift. Doesn't that belong to the bartender? I have no idea. Let's be totally upfront with it.
Maybe it's the bartender's. After all, this is his room.
Oh wait,
Why
the
would you
bartender.
wear what is clearly a woman's earring?
I thought they meant Iroha
You
down
never
there.
know. He's a pretty mysterious dude. I wouldn't rule anything out.
Oh, I
It doesn't matter what answer
Why
you
don't I
choose,
go
by the
ask
way.
him then? And if he doesn't recognize it, you're dead.
Okay, you know what? I don't think it's actually his. Sorry.
Whoa, is everything
Uh-oh,
okay?
look at all this. All the
Did
ladies.
something happen?
Hey, there's Eri.
Yeah, I found an earring in Ichiban's futon. Would you ladies know anything about this? What?
Uh-oh. Tum, tum.
Pays good, guaranteed weekends off, and no overtime. I think Kasuga-san's gonna love
Uh-oh.
this job.
Ririka's coming. All the
This
girls.
riverside should
Oh
be
no.
Easy enough for Kasuga-san to understand. We'll head over to the private study room. Get
Oh,
nice
boy.
and cozy.
Something like this happens in Persona 4.
This brand new bowgun has
And I felt
maximum
awful.
firepower and incredible range. I call it the Sumire Special. Hope you like it, Kasuga-san. Oh, you and Yakoshi-san from Owanabara, right? And Sumire-san, is the workshop closed today? Can't believe
How
we're
many
all here at
girlfriends
once.
does he have?
Yeah,
All of
what a
them.
coincidence. I'm supposed to be meeting a guy.
I think it's 6 total. It's one for every personality trait that you have.
Kasuga-san.
Okay. Why don't we just talk this out?
Yeah, you definitely have some talking to do. What is
That was
wrong with
Iroha.
you, Chief? I think we should step outside for a bit. Kasuga-san?
Oh shit.
What's going on? Well...
You really found an earring in his futon? Is that true?
Man, I never did this part.
Must be nice.
It's actually the final sub-quest.
No, wait. I can explain this.
You amaze me, Kasuga-san.
Holy shit.
You're even a top-ranking cheater, too. How about I give you a certificate carved directly into your skull? Hope you're
Whoa.
not squeamish around blood.
I've been
Awesome.
dying to test
More to
this
see and do
deadly
when
new
I
bow that
replay these
made.
games.
Yeah,
And I think
there's
I've found just
a
the
lot
right
of things you
pocket.
need to do to get to this point.
I have a job lined up for you if you're still interested.
Oh, she's
You'll be
a
scrubbing
monk.
dirty assholes
She's a
in
monk
hell.
class.
So
Dirty
dress up.
assholes?
It was nice
Oh,
chatting
shit,
with
she
you,
uses that?
Kasuga-san. Too bad you'll never hear from me again. Or anyone. I have this little fantasy about stripping you. Of your position, that is. Now go pack your shit, President Kasuga. Does the accused have any last words? Not that they'll help.
Now hold on. This was all a misunderstanding. Everyone calm down.
We will not. For woman's greatest enemy, there is only death!
That's pretty funny. Hey, some people are into that.
Thought I was dead.
This one's on the house. I can tell when a man's seen hell. Long ago, I got attacked by an armed helicopter.
What?
It got me so bad, the doctors said I didn't have a chance. But somehow
Armed
I made it back
helicopter.
from the brink. That taught me how resilient us humans can be, and how precious life is. That's why I named this bar what I did.
Survive?
Never
Oh,
forget that lesson. We all
wow.
survive something,
Got the backstory now.
so we should live strong.
Live strong.
This bartender needs his own game.
Anyway,
I totally agree, Goro. He looks like he could be a
An earring
Tekken
I
character or
found
something.
upstairs, and somehow that made me woman's greatest enemy.
what earring are you? Oh,
It really is his earring?
You know something about this?
well, that just reminded me. I received some earrings from a gift exchange.
Oh
party
my
last
God.
Christmas. And of course, I had no use for them, so I left them lying around somewhere.
Oh my god.
Probably upstairs.
It really was his.
So, what you're saying is...
I'm just saying, I
Sumima
think I
saying.
may have been the cause of your little drama.
You gotta be freaking kidding me.
The lone survivor. Oh. Ooh, I got a massive defense boost. That was pretty
Sorry.
funny.
LOL.
I called up the ladies involved and let them know it wasn't your fault.
Oh, okay,
Should
it's
clear
all
up any
good now.
misunderstandings there.
Yay, it was all
Oh,
good.
Sweet. You totally saved my life, man.
Sorry, Ichiban. I shouldn't have jumped to conclusions. Yes, it's my fault too.
I mean, they were
never
kind
would
of
have
right.
pinned that on our bartender.
Oh, forget about it. It's all in the past now.
Hey, Kasuga-san.
But now they
isn't
know
it
he's
still
six
true that
timing.
you're seeing another woman?
Six
Hey
timing.
then, glad we got that one squared away.
Okay, hey, there's
Now
more
let's
of me to
get a
love.
move on. Life's too short to sit around suspecting people.
What the heck is he talking about? Beats me.
Wow, that was really funny. It's all good, it's all good. Let's take a quick look at the tasks. See, look, number 46, the world is my racetrack. That's the... Yep, that's the last one I need to do. I've done all of them. So, the lone survivor was the final one. Thought I was gonna get murdered. Is this what hell feels like? I guess I should be more honest, living each day like it's my last. To do that, you need to max out every one of those girls, her and Eri and Iroha and all the other girls. You need to max out their social links, so to speak. But to do that, it's different for every single one. For example, Goro, you know that for her, you need to max out the business side game, right? You need to get to the number 1 spot, and then you'll have a romantic relationship with her. And then for Iroha over here, you need to buff your charisma. You need to max out your charisma to level 10, but to do that, you need to buy like several $1,000 worth of roses, and then increase your passion stat. And to increase your passion stat, you have to do a bunch of different things, like these part-time hero quests. And if you look here at the management, you can see all the different statistics that can be buffed. For example, this one here, Cart Connoisseur. If you collect every type of cart used in Dragon Cart, you can see that your passion stat can get an increase, and then you can talk to her, and that the same thing applies to all of those other girls that you saw there, whether it be passion or charisma or intelligence. We can actually take a quick look right here. Stats, personality, here, see that? Confidence, charisma, kindness, intellect, and style. Gotta max all of those. So it's a multi-stage process in order to do that final one. But at the end, you get your butt kicked. I think I'm going to take a little break right now. And when I come back, we'll talk to Zhao here, and I think that'll be his final drink link. That's what they call it. The final drink link. So let's just get a picture here. There we go. And I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back from my break, just getting a little settled in. Give me a moment while I get my stuff ready, adjust my headset, all that stuff. Okay, let's get a drink of water. There we go. So we have one more conversation to have with Xiao. And I think we'll have maxed him out, and then we have maxed out all the rest of the characters here. There's Jungi Han, feeling very separate from everyone else. Yeah, and just to go back to that point about Jungi Han, I use him in my team. He's probably one of my main guys on my team, because his moves are really good. And I do like his backstory that you find out about here at the bar, Survive. I think it's really interesting, and it ends on a kind of like a heartwarming note that makes him feel a little more human. Oh, I didn't know you could come back here. And even how he has certain connections with like the previous Yakuza games, which I don't know 100% about, because I don't think I've played the game where Jungi Han's full backstory takes place. I don't think I've played that one. But yeah, all of that is really cool. I like all of that stuff. It's just certain aspects of his character grate on me, which I've gone into great detail several times, so I won't harp on it. Let's chat with Xiao here. I like Xiao. Xiao's pretty cool in my opinion. Oh, there's Xiao.
Ah, Kasuga-kun. Just in time. I was waiting for you.
What's up? Did something happen?
We'll get right to the point. Mabuchi's come back to
Mabuchi's back.
Wait, really? I thought you gave him and his boys the boot.
Right? Ain't that some shit? After we let him go and everything.
Yeah. Do you think he wants back in the Yokohama Ryumon?
Who knows? I don't think he has that kind of power anymore. Most of his lackeys bailed on him.
What about the Omi? Is it possible they're still backing him?
The Omi Alliance wouldn't have any use for him at this point.
Well, if that's true, wouldn't it mean his return isn't much of a threat?
That's what I'm thinking. Mabuchi's out with the trash now. Bet you're happy about that.
I don't want to kick him in when he's down. Time to put the final nail in the coffin. We shouldn't underestimate him. That sounds like a good response.
Remember,
Intellect.
he was in control of Ijin-sho not that long ago.
I'm sure I've said it before, but the real issue is with Songhui.
Yeah. She'd be setting a bad example if she didn't bring the hammer down on the guy who torched their home.
That's true.
Yep. She's running the show now. Songhui finds out Mabuchi's back. He's as good as dead.
True.
But Zhao doesn't want that, because he considers Mabuchi a brother.
I want to chase him off before the Komi will make their move.
So you still won't turn your back on him? Even after all he's done?
Right? I think I'm just too soft. When it comes down to it, he's still my brother. Even though he acts nothing like it. I try to kill me for shit's sake.
Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with being soft. You're better off that way, if you ask me. I like knowing there's actually a beating heart somewhere in that chest of yours.
Don't tell me you're surprised, Kasuga-kun. Bastard.
Anyway, if we're gonna get to him before the Komi Jewel, we can't be sitting on our asses. Once we find out where he is, we're gonna have to move quick. If you need a hand, just let me know.
Kasuga-kun, thanks. You know, if anyone's a softie here, I'd say it's you.
That's true.
Does that make you think any less of me?
Quite the opposite.
We're all just a bunch of
It's
softies.
actually pretty cool.
Good shit.
Good shit. Soft boys. Oh, that was it? Okay, so I'm assuming there's going to be another Zhao. Okay, fortune teller and foreman. Another Zhao conversation. Drink link. Maybe I'll do a song. Nothing soothes the soul like screaming it out, right? You better clap along though. His song Hell Stew, it's grown on me. It's pretty funny. Aries song is no bueno in my opinion. Let's belt out a tune. Let's do one. What are we singing? 500 yen. What are we singing?
Which song?
This one. Like a Butterfly. It's kind of like an Evanescence deal. Spring Breeze, kind of like a, I don't know, like a pop song. Let's okay, let's do this. Hell Stew. Let's do this one.
Ooh, it's about to get real.
It's about to get real.
Sick.
Get ready for this.
LOL, these lyrics all over the place.
Yeah. The visuals.
Humans and Pinchy and shit posters.
Let's close-up shot here.
Oh my god, this is amazing.
Oh, you've never seen it? Yeah, so crazy. It's like really distracting because I want to look at it, but I can't. So actually, the outfit that Kasuga is wearing there, like the kind of Kiss metal outfit, that is a DLC class that you can buy on the store. I don't know what moves that class has. I don't know how good it is, but yeah, it's another class that you can buy and try out. But yeah, I don't really feel the need to do that. So okay, so we're gonna actually go south. So again, today is a day of preparation, grinding, just trying to get ready for the ultimate final battle, which I'll do possibly tomorrow or the next day after that. And a part of that is going over here, going over to this lady called Fumi. So let's do that. For the longest time, I was absolutely clueless as to how to open up the golden safes. I had no idea, so I had to look it up. And you need to be the foreman class. You have to have that unlocked as Ichi. You can just choose the class and then revert back to your main class. And what that does is unlock a new skill that you can use in the overworld. Sometimes there are like these barricades you know, that are just like sort of cobbled together with wood or whatever. And so long as you've previously chosen the foreman class, you can then break those walls down, and that's what you have to do to meet this lady called Fumi, as well as some other shopkeepers that are hiding behind walls. And you can purchase the golden key safe keys from this lady. She should be the next block over. Oh, let's see if we can turn in some of these things. Okay, we can do this. Actually, anything involving bugs, let's hold off on that, because the bugs can be used for crafting, and I want to check. I want to ensure that I have those bugs for crafting purposes first and foremost. Okay, where's this lady? One of these. Hold up. Oh, here, this one. Yeah, so this door is barricaded. You can only open it up if you break down that barricade. And this lady sells some unique stuff, including things you can use for patchy slot, but all I'm interested in is this, the gold safe key. It's a one-time use item, so let's just buy 10, and hopefully that's enough for anything that we'll see over at Kamurocho. And okay, so what else do I need to do today? Let's go over to the workshop, and we're gonna see if I can craft anything new. I'm not entirely sure. And then we'll head back to Kamurocho, and I'll buy some food there. All the food that you can buy at Kamurocho. We'll do that. We'll spend our time just reading about the food, getting into fights. We can just set it to auto battle. Ooh, only 2 attacks. Adachi. Enjoy, asshole. Arch vagrant. Oh, he's begging. No, fuck off. And I don't think that I'll be using like some of these classes when I ultimately do the final mission, the final fight. I just kind of wanted to experiment with the other classes. That's why Nanba is a chef and Sayako is a hostess. Just wanted to check out some different classes. The characters still level up regardless of that. Or at least they keep some stats, I believe. Okay, let's go down here. So this city is also you're also going to be visiting this place in Lost Judgment. Ijincho, so that's kind of cool. Okay. Ah, damn, I need to find 2 cockroaches. Okay. Okay, we can level this up. Nice.
Nice. That's what I'm talking about. Wow. Pretty good.
Boost the number of hits from a normal attack. Okay, full grain leather. We don't have any of those. Okay.
Lost Judgment looks like it has really good graphics. Is that only on the PS5 that it will look that good?
I assume so. Like, from what I... excuse me, my little frog in my throat. From what I've seen of Lost Judgment, it seems more or less the same to me, graphically. I could be wrong. So I'm not necessarily seeing what you're seeing. I'm watching Bacon...
I think the only difference will be the frame rate.
Yeah, I'm watching Bacon play it on stream, of course, so you have to understand that, you know, maybe I'm not watching it at the best of quality from on my end, but it looks fine. It looks good, and Judgment 2 seems more or less the same to me. The same kind of good. And yeah, as Bacon said, if anything, there's going to be a better frame rate, better performance out of it.
Just touch. It works, right?
Okay.
And probably resolution as well.
Right, yeah. That's always the case, right? Resolution. And I would say we have yet to see a true Yakuza / Judgment game that is born from like the new generation of consoles. I think I would say that we have yet to see a game like that yet. What am I looking for? Did I say cockroach? 2 cockroaches. Let's see. I think there's a place where I can buy some bugs. Let me see. I think at the bike, well, what do they call it? The Can Quest. Let's take a quick look. Let's walk. Even though we get into fights, let's just walk over there. Berserker. Oh wow, total wipeout. Another group of guys.
Here we go.
I'm sort of thinking that the next Yakuza game and the next Judgment game already were probably in the works, right? Because Lost Judgment is coming out soon. So yeah, I'm kind of thinking that they've already been, the groundwork has already been laid for the next 2 games. Now whether they're next gen or, if you want to call it current gen only, I don't know. Okay, I was looking for cockroaches. Cockroach. I thought this guy may have sold them. Oh. No, he doesn't have cockroaches. Oh no, he does. Oh wow, 80,000 points. Okay. Tell you what. Let's do some of this. I'm pretty good at it at this point. And I actually find this kind of fun. So we can do like maybe 2 to 3 rounds of this. And then I can craft an upgrade for Nanba. I think it was Nanba that needed this.
The next Yakuza should be in the works at the very least.
Yeah, I think so. And that'll be a game that was still, you know, under Naghoshi's direction for the most part, I would assume. And it won't be until like the next game after that we might see a game that is wholly created without Naghoshi. Can you get the power up, the nitro, Fast and the Furious? Oh! Oh shit. Okay, here's a guy. Gotta smack him. Ooh, there's two bad guys over there. Let's avoid them. Oh shit. Ooh, don't hit me. Lucked out on that one.
A CEO of a big company going around collecting cans.
Yeah, that's right.
Time to get paid. That's money.
He's a man of the people. He really gets his hands dirty, gets involved. And we want to keep an eye on the time. We don't want to pass. Don't want to go over. Nice, we got 2 on the nitro boost. This is all bonus points. That guy dropping him, it's 5 points each time. Okay, we got another target. Oh, damn, they both hit me. I'd like to get S rank, but we might just turn it in. 30 seconds left. We can just turn in this mission. $20 seconds left. I probably could have walked around some more. Biked around. And I'm doing this so I can get cockroaches. So funny. Again, big CEO. I think I need 2 more. You're pretty good. Yo. What was the 8,000? Okay. I gotta do at least 2 more rounds of this so I can get my dumb cockroaches. At least it doesn't take long. And like I said, I'd like to grind and get to about level, what did I say, like 60, 70, 65, 70 in order to feel comfortable about taking on the last few missions. But the grinding, I mean, I did some at the start of the stream, and I'll probably do another session like off stream. And we've done all the side quests that I'm willing to do at this point in the game. Again, the kart racing is just a little too annoying for me at this moment. So I will try it, but not right now. Okay, let's steer clear of this guy. Where's all the people at? So yeah, so the rest of the session today, I think we'll just kind of walk around Kamurocho, because it's been a good long while since Ichiban here has been to Kamurocho. We'll walk around, we'll take a look at the food, buy up all the food, because I enjoy doing that. And then we'll probably call it a day after that. I mean, that alone should take up a good amount of time, looking at all the food and stuff. And there aren't any side quests available in Kamurocho, at least I don't think so. So again, that'll probably be it. Whoa. But since I've been playing this game, I've been kind of reflecting on what my favorite Yakuza game is, and the other ones, which one I like the most. And keep in mind, I haven't played them all. I still have to play 6. But the last Yakuza game that I played before this was 5. And you know, oops, I didn't think 5 was super amazing. I have to say. Oh, sideswiped. God damn. I think, well, maybe it's my fault because I kind of played 5 over a long stretch of time. I did a decent amount of progress in 5, and then I stopped. Okay, let's cash in. But 5 was definitely very ambitious. There's 4 or maybe even 5 playable characters if you count Haruka. You go to, I think, 4 different cities, including Kamurocho,
Streets look cleaner already.
Sotenbori, you go to... Man, what's that place called? You go to like the like frozen north as Saijima shop. So that's kind of neat that there's so many towns you can go to. Okay, we got the bugs. Got the bugs. But in that game, the focus on dreams, it kind of wears out on you after a while because everyone just keeps on talking about dreams. The dreams. What dreams do you have? What are Haruka's dreams? What are Kiryu's dreams? That baseball guy. What's his dream? And the baseball guy who his name I forget, by the way. I kind of feel bad about that, but I didn't hate that character, but they introduced him a little too late. By the time you get introduced to him, you know, there's this feeling like the story of the game has gone on for too long already, and yet we are introduced to a new character and his whole drive. What is his drive? What's his personality? Like, we have to understand all of these things. And it seems a little too late. And the way they kind of wedge him into the storyline is... it's not as seamless as it maybe could have been. Seems a little forced, in other words. But I actually think that his character, despite all that, is kind of fun. And in fact... is a bit of a blueprint for what we see here in Ichiban. Because like Ichiban, that guy grew up and was raised mostly by, like, you know, sort of like the forgotten people in society, the people that you know, society would rather forget, or whatever you want to call it, right? The prostitutes and stuff like that, the soap ladies. And his attitude is also very kind of like happy-go-lucky and stuff like that. So he kind of reminds me of Ichiban in a lot of ways. But again, that story goes on for a little too long, and there's so many characters, each with their own like side characters, right? And the way they interconnect, it's not seamless. Let's put it that way. Let's take a look. The way all the characters' stories interconnect. Okay, what? Okay, yeah, he's got these dragon knuckles on. Okay. Okay, so let's go to Kamurocho and take a look at the food. Let's buy out all the food.
Which character you talking about? Just got back fro the washroom.
Oh, it's a guy from Yakuza 5. I don't remember his name. I think it starts with an A. Let me take a look. Yakuza 5 characters. It's the last character that you get in Yakuza 5. Yakuza 5 characters. I want to say something with an A. Not Akiyama. Akiyama's cool in my books. Oh, sorry, not an A. It's Shinada. Tatsu Oshinata. Yeah. So that's the last character that you get in Yakuza 5. And as I said, he's just he arrives a little too late. But he is a pretty neat character in my opinion. He's his whole gimmick, I guess, or his whole storyline revolves around baseball. However, he doesn't use a baseball bat in battle. In fact, if you pick up a baseball bat on the ground in the middle of a fight, he'll look at it and then gently put it on the ground because baseball, like, he has too much respect for baseball to use a bat in combat. I think that's pretty neat. Cool little character thing. But yeah, all this is to say that Yakuza 5 wasn't my favorite Yakuza game. I liked it well enough, but it wasn't my favorite. And to be honest, many of the Yakuza games at this point kind of blend together because I've played a fair number of them, but I'm just not very good at remembering a lot of the story plot points of them. But I do really like Yakuza 3. Yakuza 3, actually, it kind of, I don't know, I find it, like, really memorable, and it's one of those games where I think I might come back to it and play it at some point, because I liked it so much. I'll get into it a bit more. Let's, later, let's get my sushi. Let's get the order here. Nishiki set, 4-piece. Miyabi set, 9-piece. Kiwami, 8-piece. Flower chirashi, a unique type of sushi with salmon and eggs scattered over sushi rice. Ooh. Kiwami chirashi. Okay. Tuna rice bowl. Oh damn, that looks good. A rice bowl neatly topped with fresh bluefin tuna. Kiwami seafood rice bowl. A rice bowl neatly topped with luxurious seafood. Osuimono. Clear broth with condensed seafood stock. I've never heard of that. Lobster miso soup. Holy shit, look at that. The lobster's just emerging from the bowl with a whole head of a Japanese spiny lobster in it. Damn. That looks pretty fancy. Oh yeah, I wanted to mention about something else about that guy, Sawashiro? Was that his name? Shinada. When I first saw pictures of this character, I thought he was gonna be some kind of veiled reference to Ryu Hazuki from Shenmue, because he wears jeans and a white shirt and then a brown leather jacket on top. I was like, whoa, what's going on? Why did they make this guy look so much like Ryu Hazuki? But he's nothing like him at all. He's a big dork. I guess Hazuki is kind of a dork too.
Who's hungry?
Who's hungry? Me. Got the bonuses. And yeah, he definitely felt like kind of like the precursor to Ichiban. Maybe they felt like they did Shinada wrong by having him introduced so late, that they wanted to make basically a do-over and make the same character again in Ichiban. So there's something. Oh, I think I've bought everything here. Okay, yeah, we bought everything that you can buy here. Yeah. Excuse me. Let's go in first person, like a real tourist. Yeah, too bad about, too bad that there's no, Don Quixote in this game, unfortunately. Would have been nice. So what's the next restaurant? Let's see what weapons they sell here at this Le Marche. Le Marche. This is the Kamurocho police station, by the way. I'm sure that we might have to come here at some point. And we want to take a look at, yep, see, for stuff like this. Grenade. And one of the other Yakuza games, you could go down into the subway, like underground, and there's like shopping centers down there. Well, you kind of see places like that in the Persona games, right? Like the whole underground part. Yeah, you can, in one of the other older Yakuza games, you can go there and see stuff like that. And I do recall that one of the ads when you're down there is for Nico Nico Doga. It's just kind of funny because, I don't know.
Wish they'd localize the feudal Japan ones.
Oh, Goro, yeah, absolutely. I would really love to see that. I really would. I feel like at this point they would have to either remake or remaster them. Maybe a remaster wouldn't be enough. They'd have to remake them, to be honest. Okay, are any of these items better than the ones I... Whoa. Dude, this is 10 million bucks. Holy crap. Oh my goodness, this stuff is expensive. But I mean, for plus 11 damage, it's not even that much better, right? Like plus 11. Okay, look at this. Plus 76 for these cards. That's a big jump. Well, I'll have to... This seems like maybe someplace to visit in the post-game. Because I don't have... Oh, Dragon Knuckles. I'm pretty sure I crafted that, so... Some of these things are things you can craft. Ooh, expensive. Well, I'll have to keep that in mind. La Marche. Very expensive, very pricey. Yeah, I suspect...
Maybe I should play that next LOL.
Yeah, Bacon, you're in the perfect position to give those games a spin. Yeah, well, maybe they're available on the PS3 or PS4 PSN? Maybe? Yeah, that would be neat. That'd be really cool. Oh, here's an alleyway. Let's take a look at this. So yeah, for the rest of my session today, we're just gonna be walking around Kamurocho, seeing what we can see, hanging out in these dingy alleys. You know, maybe I'll put on the gear that removes enemies, so I can just freely walk around and not worry about getting harassed. It's very useful for my tourism. Look at this guy. Hey buddy, hey, let me talk to you for a second. Have you heard about Scientology? No, leave me alone. Okay, what is here? What's this all about? Kyushu #1 star. Oh, I've bought everything here. Okay. Tonkatsu ramen, chasu rice bowl. Sounds good. But I've been here already, so we're off to the next restaurant. Oh, maybe I should take a quick look and see if there's any collectibles. You never know. No. No. Yeah, I just love the amount of detail that they have for the interiors, these little places that, like, it just makes it feel a lot more just like kind of comfy, right? Even though they're like small little little rundown places or whatever. You just get a really cool, relaxing atmosphere and vibe from them. Okay, so we're looking for our next place to eat. Oh, let's go to the Champion District. Let's first duck into here. Oh, indeed, indeed. Okay, let's back out, back out. I was thinking I might try, so here we are, this is the Champion District. Small little alleys, small little bars here. I was thinking about trying the Fist of the North Star game next. I'm pretty sure Goro played it. I don't know if you're still around, but how'd you like that game? Evergreen. So not all of these buildings, these little bars you can get into, but at least you can look at the outside. It's pretty cool how they've got. I love the detail, the exterior detail. Gravity Whiskey. Yeah, there's only 2 that we can get into. Stairs? Can we go up these stairs?
I liked it, but I don't think I loved the story.
Ah.
That is not to say it is bad. I know nothing about the source, so maybe someone coming to it.
Coming to it, not as fresh, would love it. Oh yeah, you were just here, Bacon, in your own game. You mentioned that you were looking at these, and you couldn't really make it out. I had said that there was more signatures, but no, that is not the case. I must have been thinking of a different bar. Yeah, I don't know who these people are. Is it her, perhaps? I don't know. And here's the mama. She, this bar has been in the game since Yakuza 1. And,
I think there are more in Judgment.
Oh, more in Judgment. Okay, okay. Yeah, I must have been thinking about a different bar or something that I saw. Because I remember taking note of, like, wow, there's this huge wall with a bunch of signatures. Well, we're going to bars now, so maybe we'll see. Let's take a moment to read all of these. They seem really interesting. Yamazaki, 25 years old. Has a complex yet dignified flavor that leaves a fully developed tone. A super premium single malt whiskey that was matured in a sherry cask. Yamazaki, 18 years old. The profound aged flavor and dry fruitiness imparted by the cherry wood cask of over 18 years are central to this full-bodied whiskey. Yamazaki, 12 years old. Japan's famous single malt whiskey owes its delectably smooth taste to its matured and precisely procured malt. Hakushu, 18 years old. A whiskey with a velvety taste and sharp fragrance that can only be achieved with the use of mature malt. Its balance of complexity and simplicity is perfect. The Macallan, 12 years old. Standard model. You can enjoy the luxury of this Macallan delicacy without going bankrupt. Okay. Bowmore, 12. Specially distilled with a delicate tropical fruit fragrance that culminates in a bourbon vanilla finish. Glenfiddich, 12. The most frequently enjoyed malt in the world. Easy to drink thanks to its distinctive fruity flavor and subtle oak aftertaste. Courvoisier XO. A distinguished French cognac. Its rich yet smooth flavor is the epitome of perfection. Premium malt draft. A premium beer that is manufactured to accent the hops and wort for an extravagant flavor. Kyogetsu Green. A famous soju. Oh, it's Korean. Yeah, brewed with refined Korean barley that barley that gives it a silky texture and an invigorating taste. Some edamame, potato wedges, and pasta sticks. Well, you know what we're gonna do. We're gonna go big baller style. Big baller style. Probably gonna barf. Who's hungry? Who's thirsty? More like it. No conversation? Oh, you know this mama. Her voice is sounds like a man here in this game, but sounds definitely like a woman in Judgment. All right, so where are we going? Let's go to Shellac. Let's just walk this way. You know what? There was a bar in the first chapter of the game. You come by this way, and there's a lady there. She owns a bar. It was this one, but then it became Organic Cafe Michio. You can look inside, but you can't go inside and buy anything, unfortunately. But yeah, this is like a lady that you had known, that Ichiban had known prior to going into jail. And in the time since then, she turned her life around and opened up a organic cafe, so good for her. Syntax Error Retro Bar. That sounds like a cool one. Maybe they have like video games or something. Magic Hat. Good job. Rock and Roll Bar. That sounds like a good one. Shellac, that's where we're heading. Let's go into Shellac here. Let's get a drink. Oh, there's some more signatures over here. I wonder if they're the same ones or different, or what's the deal. Look at that. It's a little character. Oh, and there's pictures of like albums, CDs. So I wonder if they're musicians or something. The menu, food menu. This place is pretty comfy too. Okay. Okay, this place has some ones that we've seen before, but some that we haven't, I think. Exo Deluxe. Its regal bottle, sharp scent, and unmistakable blended taste gently caresses the heart. Hakushu, 18 years old. I think I read that one. A refreshing smell, like new leaves growing in the forest. Wow, that's so specific. Its clear and simple taste makes it easy to enjoy casually. Lafroig boasts an intense peat smoky tanginess. Valentine, 30 years old, the lord of the blended, aged over 30 years, an unmatchable blend of whiskies, famously heralded as the emperor of Scotch. Well, okay, Suntory Brandy, Vsop, the pinnacle of Japanese brandy, has an elegant, fruity fragrance and a buttery, smooth taste. Carlsberg, okay. That's something that I'm somewhat familiar with, of all the things shown here. One of the world's most famous beers, loved by approximately 140 countries, a straightforward pilsner that matches well with Western food. Suntory Old Whiskey, an extremely popular Japanese whiskey. Its bright fragrance and tantalizing texture gives way to a mellow finish. So, I had been reading a manga about bartending. I think it's literally just called Bartender, and it goes into like you know, the characteristics of these drinks and how it would like suit the mood of a certain person at a certain point in time of their life, and it gets into like, you know, how you know, people with their problems go to bars and stuff like that. It was actually really interesting, despite the fact that I'm not a drinker by any stretch. I just found it really interesting. And there was another one about wine that I was reading too. I think that was called like Drops of Heaven or something. That was also very interesting, learning about wine. Okay, we're super trashed now. Okay, so let's leave the Champion District. So everyone here is like mad drunk, I guess. Look at this one, Red Eye. Okay, so we've been to everyone here in the Champion District. Where are we heading up next? Popo, oh, right here, Conrai. I think Conrai is a really fancy one. Like a steakhouse, maybe? I don't know, we'll see. I think it's fancy. Oh, listen to this.
Gives me the creeps.
I hear the locals call it the Haunted Mansion.
I can see why. I bet it's got ghosts in every room.
And this is where Ichiban was born.
Oh.
Sorry.
Awkward. Yeah, that's crazy. It's in disrepair. Does it look like this in Judgment as well, Bacon? Is there something up here? Oh, I think I checked up here already. Yeah, there was an item there. A Tojo Clan crest. Look at this guy. Look how he parked. Holy crap. Ba-ba-ba. Okay, that's another entrance into the Champion District. And yeah, we're not getting into fights because I put on the item that makes it so that we don't encounter enemies. That's pretty sweet. I wonder, is there anything that I need to buy here? And I've mentioned this before, but I've been watching Majin Obama streams where he goes around and bikes at night when the city is like practically dead, and it's just really interesting, like seeing you know, Japan, Tokyo, like that. Like, it's a very unique look, and it's pretty cool. Very kind of chill streams too, and then he goes to the batting cage, and then it becomes really loud. Fun watch. Okay, so we need items like this to heal us in the middle of battle, so let's get a couple of them. Premium sushi set. Sega Taiyaki. It's always good to have some of these too. Okay. Is there any Tojo Clan crests here? I don't think so. Okay. You can deposit money at the ATM. I think I've only done that a few times. I don't really find it too useful. Okay, so let's see. My hunch is that there's a Tojo Clan crest here somewhere, unless I've picked it up already. That's possible. And how about when we get to the three hour mark or so, we'll conclude our session. Curse substitute. What is that? Gear. items. I wish there was like something that denoted that an item is new. What is that? Oh. Oh, it might be a something that you equip. I did sell a bunch of stuff, but I probably could stand to sell more. Oh, here we are. Null's immediate knockout effect. Oh. Oh, okay. Some attacks can kill you instantly, and that nullifies it. Well, I would say that's not worth taking a slot for. Taking up a slot for. Where's this restaurant? Is it this one? I think this place might be really fancy. Whoa. Whoa. Oh? Is it a Chinese restaurant? Whoa. Oh, we can walk around. Let's grab this. Excuse me, everyone. Tojo Clan crest. Gotta get those crests. Can we go backstage here? No. Oh, okay. They've got like a heating element in the center. Cool. Fancy. I like the ambient sounds. You can hear like the plates and dishes shuffling around. Alright, let's see what we can get here. We can probably squeeze in like 1 or 2 more restaurants. Salted beef tongue. A touch of salt opens up a new dimension of flavor to this unique cut of meat. I have to say I haven't really had beef tongue before. Is it good? Sink your teeth into a soft, scrumptious beef tongue that will melt in your mouth. Kalbi. These tantalizing beef short ribs are renowned for their smoky barbecue flavor. Grade A Kalbi. This top-grade meat is selected from only the rarest, choicest cuts of beef rib. Sirloin. Enjoy the light yet filling flavor and relatively low fat of this succulent sirloin steak. So then you take these raw dishes and then cook it at your table. Sirloin. A marbled sirloin steak, bursting with savory umami flavor. Harimi. Beef skirt steak, reasonably priced and incredibly popular. You know, I watched a YouTube video of a guy showing you how to get the best value out of like your KBBQ experience. And he was like, okay, don't order this meat. Okay, and then order more of this meat. This is the more pricey one. They don't want you to order too much of this, you know? It was pretty funny. Grade A Harimi. This skirt steak is made from Wagyu beef. Is a treat for your taste buds. Okay, Wagyu beef. Tripe barbecue. Some say this choice beef intestine only finds its true worth in being burnt black. Seafood platter. A platter of the sea's delicious bounty, including shrimp, scallops, and squid. Kimchi combo. A tantalizing combo of kimchi made from Chinese cabbage, cucumbers, daikon, and more. Stone-cooked bibimbap. Oh, this looks good. Savory rice with spicy sweet gochujang sauce. Roasted to a golden brown, its many flavors dance across the palate. Okay, 2 more. Spicy beef soup. It's one of the house specialties. Grilled garlic. The only thing better than the unmistakable scent of grilled garlic is its sharp, delicious taste. Alright, big baller style, we bought them all. Let's do it. What's the buff?
Who's hungry?
And sometimes you can get conversations.
Me.
Attack. Alright, well.
Everything's spinning.
I'm getting my party trashed, but you know, we're almost at the big battle, so We have to go all out and enjoy ourselves before the big battle that lies ahead of us. We must prepare with a full belly. Look at that. That's pretty cool. That's pretty sweet. What's going on here? They're not open yet? I guess not. I want to eat there. It looks neat. Okay. Is it... There could be something going on here. This is Millennium Tower, is it not? Oh. Oh shit. Holy... Oh. If I get any further, that'll start the mission. I think. Let's save, so we don't accidentally do that. Right? Because look at the map. I was heading towards here. Yeah, unfortunately, one of my favorite minigames is not present in this game. I think it was 4 that had
Should I open it?
that had ping pong table tennis at a hotel. I think like somewhere to the north of here. Yeah, like to the north of here is the hotel district, and you could take your date out there to play table tennis, and like if you performed your heat action. Oh, whoa, this place looks crazy. Like you could like hit the ping pong and it would like land the ball and it would like land on her boobs or something. It was pretty funny. Okay, let's just take a quick look here. What's going on? You know, just gotta be thorough. As I said, I'm trying to look at Nanba. He's taking a real good look. Just kind of wanna, you know, I have to look at all the details in this game, right? I think some of these girls are repeats. Maserva. This is the name of like the place of business where they work at. I don't think that's like the name of... Yeah. Yeah, I wonder who they are. I wonder if I could like take a screen cap and then use like Google reverse image search to find out.
Hey, you think I'd get any clients if I ran a cabaret in Kamurocho?
A beauty like you? No doubt.
Aw, Ichiban. Thank you.
Oh, he's right. And look, that fancy place over there says they're hiring. But they take one look at you and hire you on the spot.
You do know that's a cougar bar, yes?
Cougar bar?
But you're right. I guess I'm not so young anymore. If you'll excuse me, gentlemen, I am off to the cougar bar for my interview.
Oh, good one, Adachi-san. You made her feel like shit.
Oh, that wasn't my intention. Here, look, I'll make it up to her by applying as a host.
How's that make up for anything?
Yeah, there's a lot of conversations to be had. I would probably have to like walk up and down all the streets to try and find them all. But let's do one more after this one. Ikanari steak. Yep, I haven't bought anything here. Oh boy, this is what I'm talking about here. I'm a steak guy. Tenderloin steak, 200 grams. A tender fillet, light on fat and oil. The delicious red meat incites your inner hunger. Oh my god. Okay. I'm getting hungry now. Ribeye steak, 300 grams. A fine ribeye steak with a good ratio of fat to red meat. Juicy, tender, and very satisfying. Ooh, look at that picture. Sirloin steak, 200 grams. The king of steaks. This hefty sirloin boasts the perfect balance of tough and tender. Wild steak. A steak served with rice, salad, and soup. Charge up your energy with a full stomach. Wild Hamburg steak. Comes with rice, salad, and soup. The kids love the house secret onion sauce with this. Salad? These crunchy leafy greens offer a revitalizing respite from gorging yourself with meat. Consommé? An invigoratingly rich consommé-based soup.
Who's
Who's hungry? Me? I don't even think there's a trophy related to buying all the food, but I don't know, I just like reading about the food. This place is interesting. You can only stand? Would that be comfortable to like eat standing up? I don't know. Okay. Okay. Let's go to this place here. I think that might be the last one for now, and then there's several more that I need to look at, but I'll do that another time. What's the deal with this? Nothing. Nothing. Anything here? Nope. Oh, this is the one? Oh, okay. I bought everything here. Okay, so what do we got next? Okay, there's like 3 all in one here, so we might as well check these out. We might as well check them out, and then we'll call it. At least I'm not getting into fights every 10 seconds. Otherwise, this would take far longer. But I have that item on, so we are not encountering enemies. I can just freely explore, which is really nice. I enjoy that. You can just look at all the details and stuff. What? Where am I going? Wait. Oh no. Just gotta remember not to get too close to where I'm supposed to go. Wait a minute. There's an elevator here? What's the deal with this? To the rooftop? Oh. I wonder if that's related to the story. I don't know. Oh, okay. Oh, wait. Can we get in here? Oh, okay. Oh, okay, there's a place like this in in Ijincho. I think the menu is basically the same. Well, let's just get everything. Yeah, I think the menu is basically the same. Plus, I feel my my voice is like getting a little froggy now. Yeah, I was kind of hoping we could get some conversations going on. The party chat. What's this one? Okay, this is the last one, everyone. Let's take a quick look. This is probably a place you visit in Judgment or something. Talk to this lady. Ringer Hut. Naghoshi Champon. The taste of Nagasaki. An abundance of domestic vegetables give these noodles their multifaceted flavor. Vegetables? Spicy? Homemade spicy miso? That sounds great. Low sodium champon? 30% less sodium? That sounds good. Nagasaki sarudon. Sarudon? Thin noodles fried until crunchy. Oh, damn. And flavorful. Then covered in hot vegetable toppings. Damn, this place sounds great. Vegetable. Okay, vegetable. Thick. Flavorful, soft, thick. With 2 C's. Noodles. Satisfying on an empty stomach. Light. Sarudon? I don't know how to pronounce that. Spicy mazemen? Mazemen? A mixed maize champon that dishes out the spiciness. The thick men noodles perfectly absorb the miso and peppered meat. Extra beef. Oh, damn. Look at that. The sukiyaki flavored beef matches exquisitely with the champon noodles. Contains an extra 150 grams of beef and tastes absolutely amazing. Veggie-filled soup. Half order of fried rice, sure. Ringer Hut knows their veggies and they take pride in their homemade fried rice. I wonder if this is a real place. It seems almost realistic, like the menu. Gyoza. Damn. Well, that sounds awesome. Let's get it all. No conversations. That was fun. So, oh, there's one more here. M-Side Cafe. Well, oh man, there's so many. Holy shit. Bam. Well, I think that's gonna be it for me, everyone. I'm probably going to do more grinding off stream, and possibly the next time I play,
GG.
we will be doing the end of the game, or a bit more grinding. Not sure. But that's it for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time. GG's, everyone. Spin around for joy. Whee! Okay, see ya.